bringing you the latest news from Bucks County. This is the Courier Times Update with Rachel Kennelly.
This Courier Times Update is brought to you by St. Mary Medical Center in Langhorne, PA. It's your health, expect more. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rachel Kennelly reporting from the Courier Times newsroom with your news update for Wednesday, June 12th. A Philadelphia man is in custody in New Jersey in connection with Monday's robbery of a Ben Salem TD Bank. Nicholas Giorno Jr. was apprehended late Tuesday night in a New Jersey motel. He is being detained awaiting extradition to Bucks County. Giorno is accused of threatening to use a handgun if he didn't get the money he demanded at the bank on Street Road. He is facing both theft and robbery charges. Reporter Joe Chevalier will have the latest on this story at buckscountycouriertimes.com. The Philadelphia pimp who pleaded guilty last week to sexual exploitation of children and promoting prostitution has been sentenced to 16 to 40 years in a state prison. Craig Johnson sexually assaulted girls as young as 14, paying them in drugs or food and shelter while keeping all the money. 2 of the teens found with Johnson were listed in a national database of missing children.
The facts in this case are so appalling because he would prey upon some of the most troubled of youth, and not troubled emotionally, but meaning individuals that were, struggling financially in homes where there were no parental guidance, and so they were running away from circumstances, and he would essentially scoop them up and turn them out as prostitutes no sooner after bringing them into the fold. They're victims of sexual abuse and they're victims of sexual exploitation. I am so grateful that he is going to be away for decades.
I was kind of happy. I was so glad that he had what he had got, and I'm just so surprised because now I can live my life without no trouble, no fighting, no shooting, anything. Like, I don't have to put my life on the line, and I don't have to do anything for other people. I can just do for myself, and I can live my life to the fullest.
Johnson is also awaiting trial in federal court on similar charges. If convicted, he could get an additional 30 years in prison. Reporter Lori Mason-Schrader has the background on this story as well as video on our website. We have big sports news for our area. The Neshaminy softball team put to rest 2 years of postseason frustration, defeating North Penn 3-2 to advance to the PIAA Class 4A state title game against Cannon McMillan on Friday.
We just won. It felt great. Honestly, we knew that we were going to come into this and it was going to be a battle. They came out the other day and they beat that other team, and we were like, oh, well, they're coming after us next, so we got to come out and play our hardest. It feels great because last year we lost our first round of playoffs, and, coming back this year and being in the state championship game, I couldn't ask for more.
The Redskins improved their overall record to 23-2 with yesterday's win, and now they have their eye on crowning themselves as state champs. Reporter Bill Keene and photographer Stephanie Vito have reaction and video from last night's game online. A woman who was robbed when 3 gunmen entered her house last month says she lost something much more precious to her than money: her nearly 1-year-old pregnant Yorkie, Sky. Tracy Forrester is still looking for her dog, who was due to give birth last week. Sky is about 10 pounds, dark brown with a tan chest. Bristol police arrested Quincy Palmer for allegedly taking the Yorkshire Terrier, but he didn't have the dog when apprehended. Police have no solid leads on where the dog may be. You can read reporter Joe Chevalier's full story at buckscountycouriertimes.com. Your Bucks County forecast is sunny on this Wednesday with a high near 85, but you might want to soak up that sun while you still can. It won't last very long. There's a chance of showers overnight with increasing clouds and a low around 66. Showers and thunderstorms are likely Thursday with a high near 79. Some of the storms tomorrow could produce gusty winds and heavy rain. When we return, our very own Kevin Cooney will cover the U.S. Open, which returns to the Marion Golf Club in Ardmore after more than 30 years. We'll hear from him right when we come back. The official tee-off for the 113th U.S. Open starts tomorrow at the Marion Golf Club in Ardmore. It's the 5th time they've hosted the event. Our sports writer, Kevin Cooney, is joining us to talk about the course. Thanks for being here, Kevin.
Not a problem, Rachel.
So with all the rain that we've had, and there's more on the way, specifically tomorrow, weather must be a huge concern.
Yeah, it's a real huge concern when you consider the fact that there's so much. The course is short to begin with. I mean, it's under 7,000 yards. It's the first U.S. Open course to have that since 2004. And that was a big concern when they gave the U.S. Open, the Marion, and now you add in that the grounds are going to be so soft that balls are going to kind of just stick in fairways. That's the main concern of the USGA. They like having a tough course set up where guys shoot higher than normal scores. This time around, scores are expected to go real low, especially if the rain really softens the greens, makes them not as fast, and it softens the fairways where balls kind of stick like lawn darts after a while.
Who's your pick to win it all?
You know, it's easy to sit here and say Tiger Woods, who is the best player in the world, #1. He seems to have regained his form, but then you look at a Rory McIlroy who played well 2 years ago, Adam Scott who won at the Masters this year. But my pick is Luke Donald. Luke Donald is the best player in the world not to win a major. He has a good game around the greens. He can hit pretty long. I think it's just his time. He had a really good Ryder Cup last year. I think he is somebody that can really take advantage of Marion's kind of tricks and the little, blind fairways and everything. I think Donald's the guy who wins that this week.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Hopefully the weather holds out and you don't get too soaked covering the event.
Yeah, it's going to be really wet tomorrow, but then the weekend's supposed to be good, which will be good for everybody.
Great. Well, thanks again, Kevin.
Thanks, Rachel.
You can follow our local coverage of the U.S. Open at buckscountycouriertimes.com. In high school sports, the North Penn baseball team had dropped their last 3 meetings against Penridge, but they came up big when it mattered, downing the Rams 3-0 Tuesday to advance to the PIAA Class 4A state title game against Lower Dauphin on Friday.
Senior Brian Mayer picked up the complete game 3-0 victory on the mound, while Brad Bertucci drove in the first run of the game and Eddie Pasovic added 2 RBIs.
We talked about it a little bit, and we were just like, they beat us 3 times, and I think for me personally, it's hard to beat a team 4 times. So we just think that this is our time, and this is a great team and a great team win, I think.
It's unbelievable to come in as the last seed again in the playoffs and go this far, just playing with a lot of confidence. Our whole team's just meshing well, and we're all playing together well now. We have a lot of chemistry, so it's just been great ride.
I'm so thrilled for these guys. This is a team that will go down in my memory, no matter what happens on Friday, as one of the most enjoyable groups of guys I ever got to work with. There's one team in the state of Pennsylvania that goes to the postseason and finishes with a win, and we want that to be us. There's no doubt about it. We're not just happy to be there. We're happy for the next 24 hours, and it's back to work.
North Penn and Lower Dauphin will play Friday's title game at 6 p.m. at Penn State. You can see reporter Jen Wilgus' full video at buckscountycouriertimes.com. Now, here's a look at what we're working on in the newsroom. A hearing is scheduled for 3 men accused of holding 7 people hostage for $80,000. Reporter Joe Chevalier will be in court covering. Bucks County has awarded a $100,000 federal contract for a new program to house the homeless at the emergency shelter in Bristol Township. Reporter Jim McGinnis will have all the details. And finally, our reality team tells us how to be a valedictorian in just 5 easy or not so easy steps. 4 of Neshamony's 7 valedictorians also happen to be reality panelists. You can find updates on all of these stories at buckscountycouriertimes.com or follow me on Twitter for your latest local news. I'm Rachel Kennelly. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.